Good morning, Brown with Grand Roofing. We're going to be talking about the Ruko GIM2. Or is it GIM2? It's GIM. I don't know. Gim sounds good, but GIM2. We're going to be talking about this drone, the pros, the cons about it, and do a little bit of flight review if this drone is for you. I will say, first off, the great folks at Ruko sent this drone to me for free to try to do a review of. I am not being paid, however, for this video, so I'll give you my unbiased opinion of it if this might be for you. Some of the good features, the bad features. The good feature right off the bat, number one, it is very cost effective. For an entry drone, a budget friendly drone, you're getting the whole drone kit. So the drone, 2 batteries, not just one, the case and the controller. You use an Apple device or iOS or an Android device to fly it. It's very simple and intuitive. We'll get into that here as well as some of the features during the flight of this review. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. First off, the battery goes up on the top. One of the things I like about this, side of it has 2 batteries. There's a little USB-C port right here on the side of the battery, and you can charge it right here. So unlike other brands like the DJI that I have, if you don't have the whole extra kit to charge it and everything, you actually plug it into the drone. So not really a good way of charging it unless you've got the adapters for it. This, you can have one charging somewhere while the other one is in the drone flying, so that's pretty cool. Little on-off button at the top, light indicator. Clicks in at the top of the drone. Don't forget to make sure it clicks in. There's a little area for the SD card to go down here on the bottom. It has a 2-axis gimbal up here. That is kind of one of the negatives I'm not a big fan of. We'll get into that as we go through. By the way, if I haven't mentioned, I'm actually going to be giving away this very drone in the video. So stick around to the end of the video and see what you got to do to get that. If you're in my area within about an hour drive, I'll hand deliver this in person to you. If you're anywhere else in the US, I will ship it to you and pay the shipping. If you're outside the US, I don't know if I can do that. I'm sure there's a way to. I might have to charge you for the shipping depending upon how much it costs. So kind of possibly just the US viewers here. The links in the description also as well. There's a really good discount code going on right now, so keep an eye on the description down below. Click the links there for Amazon and their Shopify store. 2 very well-known platforms, especially Amazon. Everybody knows Amazon, trusted, and check them out. The discount code is going on for the Valentine's Day, so check those out. The case itself, we're not going to do the whole unboxing. It's a waste of time. It's a decent box. I'm talking about the brown box. That's a waste of time. The box is decent. It's not a hard shell, but it is firm. I've had it in here for a few weeks in my truck, and nothing's got broke. Well, kind of, technically. The gimbal cover broke just because I had it sitting on my dash and threw a bunch of stuff up on the dash. Nothing because of the case here. So what you get with this kit, obviously the drone, the battery, you get the controller for it, and a spare battery. Up in the top part here, there's a little cloth cover zipper. It's got a spare set of blades up here, and a little standard USB to USB-C charging adapter. So you can plug it into something and charge your batteries up that way. So not much more with that there. We're gonna get in and do the review of this using the controller and my phone, which is a Samsung S21 Ultra, I believe, Android device. So we'll be downloading the Ruko app. So just go to your Play Store or iOS store, search Ruko, and download the app. We're gonna go ahead and get this turned on for you guys. Do a quick review of the flying. It is a 2-axis gimbal. 4K is what they say, but I believe really it's 4K 15 frames per second. If you go to the 2K, it's 25 frames per second. So it's not super great quality when it comes to comparing to other brands out there, but again, it's a fraction of the price. So a good budget-friendly entry drone. It does not have obstacle avoidance, so be careful when you're flying in confined area. It's not going to avoid them. It's not going to stop like other drones, but again, for the budget and the cost of this, it's really good. So we're going to go ahead and get the phone snapped up into the top of the controller here, get it powered up, move the camera just off to the side so the sun's not kind of in the view, and we will do some basic quick maneuvers. Overlay the video footage from the drone that's being recorded on the SD card, as well as a combination of the app doing screen capture and my GoPro here. So let's get into it. If you like the video, if you could, give it a thumbs up on the way in, and drop a comment down below before you forget, because you want to win the drone. So just say, I want it. I want the Ruko drone. Call it just enter down below. I want to win the Ruko F11 GIM2. There we go. And I'll figure out how to pick out and send it out later. We're going to move the camera around, get the audio synced on these real quick, and we'll get into the review of the Ruko F11. Alright, so what we're going to do to get this on is double press, so press once until the battery power, press the second time, it will turn on. You're going to need to bring up the Ruko app. drone itself, make sure everything's good. You've done your little flight, pre-flight check. Make sure everything's good, nothing's broke or destroyed. Power it up. And it's going to try to connect. So I will say right off the bat, don't be panicking if you don't get it to connect here. So you will probably need to go to your Wi-Fi settings. Let me bring mine up here real quick, because it's trying to connect to my home Wi-Fi when I need it to connect to the Ruko. So they both need to be on. The controller will connect to the drone, and then in your Wi-Fi settings, you're going to want to look for the Ruko, there it is, GIM2, and you're going to connect to that. Otherwise, your app will not work. Once it's all connected, you bring up the app. You're going to hit the little control icon on the right side. It's going to want to do a calibration. So this is one thing I'm not a fan of, but it only takes a few seconds, so it's not a big deal. You lift it up about 1 meter, it says, rotate 2 full turns. And then it says go vertical and do 2 full turns this way. I believe it's using the accelerometers and compass and things to calibrate. And if you watch this, it's going to adjust the gimbal. Hopefully you can see it okay. It should pick up and rotate. Let me turn this on to video real quick too. We should be recording the screen capture from the app itself right now. So like I said, we will be switching between the GoPro and the screen capture here and the drone footage itself. So it should be connected. And if you look at the gimbal on here, it should remain flat, stable for the most part. Okay, so we just got the audio syncing, so I can take care of that in video editing. All right, we're going to point out a few things first off. In the app, if you can't fly very far, there's a couple things you're going to need to do. Go to the settings button over here, and you're going to need to, one, take it out of beginner mode, because it will only let you go so far and so high and so fast in beginner mode. I guess they want you to default go into that so you don't just go fly crazy. Also, I have my Part 107 commercial license, so just get that out of the way right now. Check your local regulations, laws, and codes, or whatever it may be in your area for you flying. I'm not reliable for any of that. So in the setting, I'm not sure if I pointed out, if you want to screen capture, you need to turn on the blue microphone button here before you hit record. Otherwise, the ambient sound from the app right here will not be recording the audio. So to launch it, we're just going to hit the launch button, slide over, take off. It's going to spin up but not take off. If you don't touch it, I think it's like 10 or 20 seconds, they'll wind down. So you need to actually hit the takeoff button for it to take off. Are we in view there? Come down a little bit. I do need to be somewhat careful here because I have some little limbs around in the area. Alright, so there we are recording everything. We're going to do a few things. As far as the gimbal control and vibration, those are two things that I'm not a big fan of. So the gimbal itself, you can see it vibrating around, but it does a decent job staying straight. However, there's a little bit of vibration at times in the video, and I think that could be addressed in the future with their firmware. So let's go and back this up a little bit here. On the controller itself, you have sport mode, camera mode, and normal mode. So we're going to do a demonstration here, and I believe that was camera mode. So if you go full stick, we're going to go backwards, full stick. And that's the speed of it. And then forward full stick. So it does a decent job. If you go into normal mode or sport mode, it should go faster. I'm going to let off because I don't want it to go flying way back into the tree, but if you're up higher, it will go faster in sport mode. So if you're down low and you're in a tight confined area, I would recommend going into camera mode. So until we get up higher, we're going to be in camera mode here. Alright. One other thing I want to point out here. We're going to bring it into the camera here a little bit. So the gimbal itself, if I don't hit my camera, I don't know if you can see it, but the vibration in it. getting a little close to these little limbs sticking out. Like I said, the vibration in the camera, not a big fan of. The other downside to this is the gimbal itself. If I rotate the gimbal to go down, it doesn't go down all the way. Well, let's just get up and airborne. We'll go through that here in a minute. Alright, so we're going to bring the gimbal down. So there's a little bit of the shake and vibration in the video. So the digital video stabilization, it's electronic, I think, is when I emailed the company, they said that they're still working on improving that. Now, one of the main reasons why I'm not a fan for me with the roofing company is I need to be able to look down, straight down onto my roof, or the roof where I'm flying to do my images for measuring. And this only goes down to 80 degrees, not 90 degrees straight down, so I can't get a good symmetric looking straight down. Although you can see with the high resolution, you can see that discoloration on the roof. Thank you, GIF. Alright, let's pan out here. Let's just fly for a little bit here. We're going to take it out of normal or camera mode and go into sport mode. Hitting the wrong button there. Normal mode, sport mode. Okay. Still recording, sport mode. We're going to go buzz out to the east here. So you can see on the screen, it gives you a good indication in the app here of the distance away from your home point, the height you are, and the speed. It also gives you a vertical speed, so the speed at which you're going up and down. Now, I'm not going to go out of sight because I don't have a spotter here. I want to make sure I'm flying within my legal limits here. Kind of view down on me here, fly back to the west. So again, it's an entry budget-friendly drone that you are getting 2 batteries with, the case, the controller, and everything. It is a fraction of the price of my DJI drone. So if you're using it just for a beginner, fly around, have some fun, you know, it's a good starter drone. Are there some things I don't like about it? Yes, but again, the price reflects that. Let's go down here to the west. And the controls on the gimbal are a little bit different than my DJI as well. So we're right out up over here. Now, as far as the gimbal itself, if you do like a full stick, let's do a full stick right, full stick left, it does a pretty good job of keeping the image level. I've got a DJI Spark that's many years old now. It actually would not do as good a job. When I do full stick left and right or full stick forward backwards, you would see the blades in the view. Something that could change based on your flying conditions. If you got to really crab forward into the wind, you may see them kind of pop up or down. So as far as the control on the gimbal, it goes to straight out horizontal. I don't believe it goes up. My new one does go up some. And again, it goes down to 80 degrees. So not bad. Let's just let off everything and see how stable it looks right here looking down at my house. Not bad. A little bit of shake right there. They may be working on that and could possibly push a firmware update where that could improve. Let's come down a little bit here. -4 feet per second. We're going to kind of just buzz the treetops a little bit here. Got the sun in my eye, but it's right out here. Trying to have this tree block the sun right out of my eye. For as much as it's moving left and right, the gimbal does do a decent job. There's just a little bit of vibration. As far as flight time, it's pretty good for the drone and the battery. Come under these tree limbs here. And we're going to take it into camera mode so it doesn't go too crazy here. Because there's some tree limbs I want to get up under here. Let's turn the camera here. So there's something else I wanted to show here. With the GPS locked in on it, it's not touching the controls. The GPS does a pretty good job. Try to rotate it there. So it's going to do really good at locking in. So if you've got a strong, stiff wind, it'll crab into it pretty good. Got too many tree limbs around here. Back to sport mode. So it doesn't show on the screen capture here, sport mode or anything like that. It's saying it on the controller here. We're gonna go down here, look south a little. Actually, let's do east again, so the sun's not in the camera. Just a little ways over the tree, we'll go out this little clearing here and loop back around. So on the screen here, you can see it looks like we're at 4.2 volts, so that's, I'm not sure what the power is on this, but it's actually been flying for a little while. Screen capture on the drone is 12 minutes, and on this little bar of power up here, we're only about half, so I would say a good 24 minutes or so at least. That could change based on how you're flying. Then you also have the second battery that's all charged up. I don't know the exact mounts they recommend you get on this, but that could always change based on the flying conditions, the wind, and stuff like that. So again, all in all, it's actually a pretty fun drone to fly. I need to get used to this gimbal. I'm really, it's backwards. The way you roll the gimbal right here, not used to it. As far as landing, you do have this little landing button to come down and land, or you can just come down on the controls. It's a little rough, it doesn't slow down. Just hold down until it shuts off. And there it is, and we'll take off again here in a second. The reason it's a little more rough than other brands, again, the amount of technology goes into some of these. They have obstacle sensors or distance measuring. I don't know if they use ultrasonic or infrared or what, but as you come down, it can measure the distance and knows when to slow down and how fast it goes down. Again, it's a budget-friendly entry-level drone here. So to take off, we're going to hit the take-off button, slide over, it's going to spin up. And hit take off, we're going to go up. There she is. That's pretty much all there is to it. And then you fly around and enjoy, have fun. See, I'm still recording. I'm kind of curious to see what the footage looks like on the actual computer, because it says 4K, but it's really not 4K. Well, I take it back. It is 4K, but it's 15 frames per second, I believe. There's a little lag in the control. I mean, it's decent, but it's a little slushy, if that makes sense. It's not snappy. It's almost like it could go a little further of an angle to stop quicker and crab back to level, but it doesn't. Like, it takes a second to get moving. But it's a decent sized drone too, though. Alright, let's go ahead and land this here. And down. Alright. So there's still a bit of battery left, but I can't make this video go too awfully long for you guys. I'm hoping that's a pretty good brief overview of the drone itself and the app and the controls and everything. So to wrap up and in conclusion here, the gimbal itself, I believe, is only a 2-axis, and then they claim 3, but really the 3rd axis is in your rotational axis. So if you're hitting the rudder like this, it's not so jerky. It kind of lags a little bit and smooths it out. Of course, you got your up and down, left and right roll axis like this. It does a good job in that. So the #1 complaint that I have, again, it's a budget entry level drone. This gimbal does not go 90 degrees down, and why that's important for me with measuring roofs for the roofing companies, I need to be up about 300 to 400 feet, look straight down the roof and get a high resolution photo to be able to sketch it for roofing for the company. Most of you guys are just going to have fun and fly for recreation. This is okay for that. Video quality, we will see how that looks here in post editing. It claims to be 4K. I believe it's 4K 15 frames, 2K 25 frames. Flight time's good. Drone size folds up pretty good, sleek. I like the batteries that you can charge right here on the side, so you don't need the drone itself to charge it. Flight time seems good. All in all, I would give it a pretty good thumbs up for the price point of this drone. Links in the description for both their Shopify and the Amazon. Valentine's Day coming up here in a couple days. They're giving a really good discount code out. One of them I saw was 50% off, and then they had a pretty good coupon currently going on their Amazon page. So check those links out down below. And also keep an eye out on the video description, the comment section, where I'm going to give this drone away to one of you guys. Maybe I ought to just keep it here in the US, just for the fact that I know I can ship it no problem, how to get in touch with you for your shipping address and all that. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to give it away yet. Probably just pick a random comment, notify you, get your email, or you email me, and I'll ship it out to that address. So again, check the links down below. Give it a thumbs up. If you like the content here, consider subscribing to the Grand Roofing channel. And until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next video.